For the third and last stage, you're again going to continue the same conversation, but this time you're going to be pushing back on Gemini here, meaning you need to question the responses it is giving. So some things that you could raise are: what assumptions are embedded? What would a critic of this argument say? What is missing? When would this workshop fail? What are alternatives I have not thought about? So you're pushing the tool to give you more, and you're taking more control of the thought process here, and you're guiding Gemini more. Okay, so as an example, I'm going to put what assumptions are built in this workshop, and then I look at what it's going to give me. So it has some technological assumptions. There is the audience and time constraint, and some methodological assumptions as well. Now I'm going to be pushing back on my conversation, meaning telling things like, I don't like this. What you're saying over here doesn't make sense. So it assumes these are dealing with typical qualitative sample sizes of 10 to 30. Okay, I don't like the assumption of 10 to 30 data set. Mine will, how about if the data set were smaller or extremely large? So I am now pushing back on what it is giving me and putting my viewpoints in more, adding my voice to this conversation more. So let's see what happens here. And so it's now going to adjust what it's giving me, and it's now adding information like micro data set and macro data set. Now I have to tell you candidly, this terminology of micro data set and macro data set did not come to me. But I knew what I was talking about with smaller data sets and larger data sets, right? And so now when I complete this conversation and I do my workshop, I will be using terms like a micro data set and a macro data set. And that kind of an end product is a result of my intervention and what Gemini has given me together. So please do push back. And you're going to carry the conversation now by checking for assumptions. Ask Gemini to give you a response that is radically different, out of the box. Push it to see what it can give you, right? Once you have the response that you want, or the response that you're comfortable with, go through 3 or 4 iterations of pushing back on Gemini. Tell it what you don't like, tell it what you do like, tell it where it's making mistakes. If it goes completely off track, tell it it's going off track and try to redirect it, right? So once you've finished that, again, you're going to select either convert to a PDF or select this whole conversation and save it as another transcript. This transcript, saved transcript, will now be uploaded to the EC interaction. Okay, so all you need to do is to upload it over here. To recap then, you have at this point uploaded 3 different transcripts, one for EA, one for EI, and one for EC. But they are all a continuation of the same conversation that started on Gemini at EA. I'll have a follow-on video for the evaluation reports in the next section.